Good morning. Very pleased to welcome Dr. Suzanne Kearns from the University of Waterloo, flying all the way from Canada to us. A female in aviation sustainability, coming all the way from Canada. What are the biggest challenges now encountering us to have more sustainable aviation?
I think the biggest challenges are that there are so many, it's impossible to name them all. That we need to think about balancing social, environmental, and economic sustainability in aviation. Today, the discussion is very much on the environmental implementations through sustainable aviation fuels and other factors. But the reality is that we also need to think about developing the talent of the future. We're projecting massive shortages in almost every aviation professional group, as well as the economic interventions that if SAF or other sustainable practices are so expensive that they wouldn't be viable for operators or for people to purchase tickets to travel, then we're not realizing the benefits of those technologies. So balance, I think, is critical.
A lot of people talk about SAF. I am a big fan of eSAF and to focus on having, and some talk about hydrogen long term, like Airbus did. But it's really down the line. What are the first opportunities, chances for success in case for us?
I think the most pressing thing we can all do is think about how to integrate sustainability into the day-to-day operations of every single aviation professional. There are things we can do today or tomorrow or this year where we can think about every aviation job moving towards sustainability. I think it's easy for us as an industry to put off thinking about sustainability, thinking there's going to be some massive technological innovation that solves this problem for us. But that is not going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years.
So here in the Middle East, most of the carriers are bringing the world's latest planes, such as the Dreamliners and the Airbus A350 and Neo engines and all that, which is routing is another very important aspect. What can we say about routing?
Optimizing the way we move the planes of today is a critical aspect of what we can do in the short term. As I mentioned before, we can also think about trying to avoid contrails. So contrails are the condensation trails, the clouds that form behind aircraft in flight. Research is suggesting that these non-CO2 impacts can have even greater global warming properties than the emissions produced from aviation. But the question of flying around those sections of airspace, how much, which would require you to burn more fuel, and that sort of cost between producing contrails or producing more emissions is why we need to really mobilize academia, working in partnership with industry and government. And it's only through this collaborative approach, leveraging all the strengths that we have, where we can achieve a path.
How can we optimize that with the different airlines, the carriers?
Airlines. I would love to see the airlines working and outreaching to academia. Academia wants to be in service to industry. We want to mobilize research.
But the challenge that we face, most of the, for example, the world of academia are in the process, not applicable today. How can we make breakthroughs more applicable or solutions more applicable?
Well, I can tell you where I am at the University of Waterloo in Canada. I have founded and I lead a research institute which is entirely focused on sustainable aeronautics. We have more than 150 professors, everybody from artificial intelligence and machine learning, looking at how we can train the workforce of tomorrow, to new technologies and sustainable energy. But it's through that collaborative model, everyone working together.
You flew with Etihad, for example. Do you think that there are chances to have some talks to implement those solutions with Etihad, with Emirates Airline, with Qatar, with Air Riyadh or Saudi Airlines?
Absolutely. I think that is probably the most important thing we can do today, is open up the channels of communication, realize we're one global community that's trying to support a sustainable future for aviation and aerospace. And it's only through together and leveraging each other's strengths that I think we have the best chance of succeeding.
Technology, basically, a lot of AI, a lot of talks in terms of technology. Where are we in terms of basically having technology serving the purpose for aviation?
I can tell you the research we're doing at the university, we're very heavily leaning into human factors and thinking about how AI can help us better understand what is naturally invisible, which is what people are thinking inside their heads. How can you make the invisible visible? So biometrics, we're leveraging advanced techniques like eye tracking technology, other biometric sensors of pilots in simulators, and then creating these AI models, which in the future we expect would allow for a person to fly and to be automatically assessed. So an AI tool could generate automatic feedback. So there's training applications, but there's many other applications as well.
Training. How can we optimize the sustainability mindset among pilots, the new and the old pilots?
Well, I can tell you when I went to one of the leading aeronautical universities in the world, and sustainability and climate change wasn't part of the curriculum. So in my institute, what we prioritize is creating accessible, self-paced, and AI-informed e-learning on sustainability and climate
So
change in
is it a
aviation.
part of the curriculum today?
Yes,
most,
it's available now.
You went to Embry-Riddle and
At the school, yes, schools are all mobilizing advanced courses in sustainability and climate change, but I don't know that it meets the need for professionals, people who are working every day and managing these challenges and having to realize sustainability is part of every job. And so these self-paced courses we've created are really trying to fulfill that gap to support the working professionals.
Dr. Suzanne, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.